Hey, everybody.
Hi. Thank you very much to Sue from McCordsville, who wrote us a note that said, I couldn't think of a better time to send this gift to you. Hope it helps you out if you find yourself in a bind. Been listening since 2016. Love you, girls.
The greatest gift ever.
It's Bernie Sanders toilet paper, you guys.
I gotta take it out. I have to take it out. I'm gonna use this. We're getting low on toilet paper in our house. You think I'm kidding? Honey?
Oh my gosh.
If you're watching this, can you guys see it?
You're stocked up.
Why do you gotta bring me into this?
Especially this, right?
Why do you gotta bring me into this? Oh, I'll bring you into it, Bernie. I'll bring you into it.
It says on one side, remember to only use half of this roll because Bernie will be coming for the other half.
Is that the greatest or what?
And then another side says, flush Bernie's political promises down the toilet.
So great. So great, Sue.
Thank you, Sue.
So fantastic.
Have not yet heard if he has gotten out of this race. I know he keeps cussing out reporters, and that's basically all I know right now about Bernie. I wish there was audio of that. I can't
I've got to
find it.
solve the effing global crisis.
He's like, don't you know there's an effing pandemic that I'm working on? Is that enough work for you? What's going on, Rob?
Well, there's a national crisis.
Yeah,
The
we're well
pandemic,
aware.
We're like in quarantine.
Oh, you guys know.
I'm actually looking forward to quarantine this weekend because I'm tired.
You guys heard about the big announcement then.
What?
What's the big announcement?
Terrible news.
What? Is it
What?
about boobs?
Is it about boobs again and strippers? What?
Playboy will no longer have a print edition.
I thought we already talked about this.
No, we haven't talked about this.
We
So-
haven't?
Mm-mm.
No.
And
Wait, then what did we talk about?
we didn't talk about Playboy not having a printed edition anymore. Did you dream that or something?
I swear that we had this conversation already. We didn't?
No.
No.
What were we talking about Playboy for then?
I don't know. Get your mind out of the gutter, Rock. Why don't you focus on the
I don't
issues
know.
that matter?
Maybe you had this conversation with the other
I
people
don't. So they're
that you have a
stopping
radio show
print?
with.
No more print Playboy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know how many hours as a young boy I wasted
I'm sure.
staring at the
Don't even want to
wondering
know.
what was inside the plastic cover?
Don't want to know.
How many
Rob.
angles you could try to hold up a magazine
We
to see if
don't.
it would tip open a
Don't
little
want to
bit?
know. Your poor mother and all the cleaning.
No, here's the deal.
All the
True
cleaning
story.
had to be.
When I was growing up, and I lived with my mom for a while, she was completely oblivious to whatever I would do.
Oh, she knew.
She knew.
So I would be able
She
to
knew.
slide some magazines in the cart. But my dad, on the other hand,
While you were grocery shopping?
sure.
Oh my god.
Oh, she knew.
She just wanted you out of her hair.
It's not just the Playmate of the Year. Somebody said no longer a Playmate of the Year. It's not just that. They're like the magazine is going under.
That's why we talked about Playboy. Because remember, they were going to not have a Playmate of the Year. That's
Yeah,
why we
because
talked
they didn't
about
want to leave anybody out.
They don't want to
Because
hurt anybody's feelings.
They wanted to be inclusive. Yeah. And now it's like, no, it's not just being inclusive. They're just shutting down because they've given in to all this wokeness. That's what it is. Playboy just can't exist in this culture anymore. It just can't.
Yeah.
Because everybody's so woke and inclusive and diverse.
Are there other, like, similar magazines that still
I think
print?
Hustler's still in existence. I don't know, is Penthouse still
That
out
guy.
I'm
Is that
asking
guy,
you.
is that guy still alive? That
there? That's
Hustler
not
dude?
nearly hardcore enough for me, Ma.
Seriously, is that guy still alive? That Hustler
Larry
dude?
Hustler, Larry Flint,
Larry,
yeah.
Larry Flint is
Wow.
still alive?
He's
God.
resilient.
You know, he really is an American success story.
Okay.
Okay.
I put a whole lot of audio in this template, Rob. You can just go ahead
Hi,
and
Rob.
work on getting that.
Oh my God. We're start talking about Larry Flint.
I mean,
It's time to change the
Holy
subject,
cow.
you guys.
right.
All right.
Because what we really need to be talking about, and what everybody should be focused on, is not this pandemic per se, it's how we're referring to it. Because if you're calling it anything in relation to China,
The China virus?
you're a racist.
No, you're not.
I know.
You're actually not. You're not. And it
This
came
is
from
insane.
China. And China's trying to pin it on the American military. And they can suck it. They can totally suck it. And I love the way that President Trump handled that yesterday in the presser. I watched it live. And it was like not one, but two journalists tried to make him look like he was racist for saying that it originated in China. He's like, no, I'm not having it. I'm not having it.
I was really pissed off at Kellyanne Conway yesterday because she totally, she's countering what he's doing. And like she was out on the White House lawn and one of those same people said, well, somebody said Kung Flu to an Asian American reporter and that was super mean. And she was like, who was it? Tell me who it was. Because, you know, whoever's doing this is saying it anonymously. And so they were like, it's not the point who said it. Isn't that offensive? And she was like, of course it's offensive. Well, you know what? It's not. It's not offensive to say that this came from China, to relate it to China, and to have a little fun in the process by calling it Kung Flu.
Now, Hong Kong Flu-y maybe a little offensive. It's
Why?
not funny, Mom.
It's not offensive.
It's not.
How is that offensive?
It's not.
And more so, how is it offensive to Asian Americans?
Listen, we are all under quarantine because this thing came from China. And I'm sick of them trying to blame it on something that the American military did. They can suck it. Seriously.
And I love that Trump is like, it's not going to happen.
Not
on
going to
my watch.
happen. And good for him. Good
I
for
know.
him. It's about time somebody stands up for us. No, you're not going to blame this on us. Oh
And
my
you're not
God.
going to dictate that this is how you're not going to say everybody has to say COVID-19 or coronavirus.
No.
If I want to call it Kung Flu, I'm going
Yeah.
to call it Kung Flu.
Yeah.
Because that is okay.
Because
it
y'all
doesn't
eat-
mean I hate Asian Americans.
No.
If you can use your brain, then you know that this is not against Asian Americans. It's not even against Chinese people. It's against China.
Yeah.
And the way that country is managed by a bunch of commie whack jobs
You know, and-
who are now trying to blame it on us.
And if you go back a month, CNN and MSNBC had no problem saying that this thing was from China.
They
were
said it
like,
all
oh,
over the place.
Wuhan virus and
Yep.
Chinese virus and Wuhan. And now it's like, this is racist.
so mean.
Oh my God, my
Trump is
pearls.
mean.
My pearls, I gotta clutch them. Oh my God, suck it. Just suck it. And you know what? They shouldn't be eating live bats. I think we've all learned that now.
I don't think they have. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
because they're still like, oh, look, there's a live salamander. I want to eat it. And look, there's
Let
a
me
live.
just take it head first.
Maybe
right?
I should
By the
just like
tail.
eat that live wolf puppy. Maybe you shouldn't.
God.
I swear.
By the way, I just put on our website, chicksontheright.com, Martha McCallum, God bless her, because she had literally this exact same conversation with that chick from Joe Biden's campaign, Simone Sanders, who is, she's so infuriating that it hurts my soul. She had the same argument with her, and at the very end, she was like, every thinking human being who looks at this understands that the reference is to the origin of the virus. So stop making this a thing. It's the same reason MERS stands for Middle Eastern Respiratory Syndrome. It's the same reason that Lyme disease comes from Lyme, Connecticut. This is not a big deal. I don't understand why this is made
They call it
the biggest deal.
German measles.
I mean, who cares?
That's
if
so
we're talking
racist.
about the origin. Why are
God.
people making this a thing?
Yeah, it's only become a thing because we live in 2020 now, where everything like this is a thing. It's like because liberals make this a thing.
I'm so
Because we can't
over it.
call anything anymore because everybody's offended by everything. Everybody shut up. Okay?
For real.
God.
Because when those two reporters were like hammering on this point, I was like, you know what? They should be ejected from the presser and get somebody that is competent to ask actual questions that matter to Americans about this virus, about the health of the nation, about what we're doing, about the actions being taken. Who gives a shit about this name?
Yeah.
I don't understand why we're focusing on this so much.
So speaking of shut up, I'd like to give a shout out to Elizabeth Carvalho, who's probably watching right now. Hey, Elizabeth. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, girl.
So yesterday she went out on Facebook and said, I'm going to read her little rant because she wants to rant so bad. I'm going to give her the attention that she wants.
Here's the attention.
Here's the
you've been
attention that
seeking.
you want, Elizabeth. She said, I want to rant so bad right now. I need my glasses because I can't see. So I follow Chicks on the Right. I find them amusing at times. Today they were so livid that those American people who are struggling right now during this crisis will receive a relief check to help those who are forced to not go to work or elsewhere. Kids are home from schools. Groceries are dwindling and people are canceling their doctor's appointments. Cancellation of all events of 10 people or more to avoid exposure. These two were so condescending and laughing at the fact that some of us will need help I did not appreciate the hateful comments.
Oh my God.
Even the comment that illegals will most likely get the help also, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Who would even bring this up right now?
People who care about the future of the country? I don't know.
Y'all sit up there acting like y'all so righteous with the attitude of being superior. Okay. It's devastating to many right now, having children to provide for.
Oh my God.
And care for without resources. If you don't have a problem continuing to pay your bills and mortgages, that's great for you. Congratulations. But many Americans don't have that luxury. Be more compassionate and understanding and know that you don't know everything. Stop pretending like you do. Thank you. Hashtag compassion for humanity. Her friend MJ Collins wrote back and said, got to be careful who you align yourself with. Some people are just clout chasing. Yeah.
Lord knows we are after all the clout.
Oh. MG.
Oh my
So I
God.
read that and I was like, first of all, you need to get your story straight because we were not laughing.
I mean, we
At
laugh
no-
all the time.
At no point, though, did I laugh during that. I didn't laugh. In fact, I didn't laugh a lot yesterday.
I probably laughed because I always do.
Well, you always giggle, but it's...
But we would never say people who need this aid shouldn't get it. And that, I know we said that. Because I was like, I don't need it. That's why I don't want it.
But I don't think at any time I was like, those people
I remember
need help.
you doing exactly that.
I don't remember ever doing that. Yeah.
Oh
so,
my God.
And what is it with this obsession of people, especially conservatives, coming at us and thinking that, you know, because I don't want to go another $1 trillion in debt, you know, just so quickly. You know, maybe we need to calm down and take a break before we start throwing checks at everybody and people who maybe don't need it. You know, maybe just take a breath before we do this. And we were asking those questions yesterday. And because we were asking those questions yesterday, because we are conservatives and we don't want to like see ourselves 2-3 years down the road in a whole heap of trouble financially as a country. And you know, somebody has to pay that back. Somebody has to pay that back.
I just want there to
Elizabeth?
be more directed payments to the people who actually need it.
And
that's all we're saying.
And we said that.
I don't understand how that's even remotely controversial.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think people who are continuing to get salaries and continuing to get paid and continuing to work and who don't have this struggle that so many people do right now, why are they getting checks?
Yeah.
Why?
And people who may be retired or people who are getting ready to retire or people who are, you know, maybe without children, why would they get a check? I just think it's wasteful. It's wasteful because we all should have skin in the game and we're all having to pay for that. And next year, I mean, at least that was the assumption yesterday because they didn't have all of this ironed out. And the assumption yesterday was that next year we were all going to have to pay for that on our taxes. Well, you know what?
The point?
Calm down, Elizabeth. We were just trying to figure out what that looked like. And there's nothing wrong with us taking a breath and figuring out what that looks like. I mean, everybody was out here going, go ahead, write the check, give me the check. Why are we doing that before we figure out what that entailed? I don't think there's anything wrong with taking a breath and figuring out what that looked like.
That's all we're saying. At no point did we ever say people who have lost their jobs and who literally have no idea how they're going to get food on the table. We have never said those people don't deserve and shouldn't get help.
No.
They are exactly who should get help.
Yeah.
I should not get help. That's the point. People like us who are continuing to work and get paid should not be getting a check. I don't understand the purpose of it. I mean, if it's to stimulate the economy somehow in this fake way, just by printing money, you can't just do that without a huge economic consequence.
Yeah, there is going to be a huge economic consequence no matter what. But we're here working. You know, and we're continuing. Thank God. Seriously, thank you,
Oh my
Jesus.
God.
We're still working, and we say that every day. Thank you, because we have jobs, and we're excited to have jobs, and we're here every day. Thank you that we have a job. We're very grateful that we have jobs. And I don't want a check. I don't ever want a check from the federal government. I've never wanted one, and I don't want to start now. I can tell you that right now. I don't want it.
But I do want people who need it to get it. And that is why this seems so just not directed in the right way. That's it. That's all we're trying to say.
Yeah.
So I don't know why.
And I don't know what the hell that means about having clout.
Or chasing it.
I don't.
Chasing it.
I'm
Come here, clout.
I'm chasing clout. Yeah, that's why we're
does that even
That's why
mean?
we're so syndicated. And we're just making giant bucks.
It's why we continue to have this professional equipment.
Yeah. It's why I drive a pickup truck. Okay. All right.
All right.
Yeah, you need to check yourself, Elizabeth.
Check yourself.
Good Lord.
Elizabeth.
Swear.
You guys, Ilhan Omar is, I wrote about this at chicksontheright.com this morning. She is heaping praise on President Trump. So I had to make sure that I had seen the headline correctly, because I was like, is this Babylon Bee? What's even happening right now? But in fact, she is heaping praise on President Trump for all the actions that he's taking right now, saying it shows a tremendous leadership, and it makes me terrified even more that what we're doing is completely backcrap.
Exactly. This is when I start prepping. I mean, this is like, it's terrifying. If she starts heaping praise, what's happening? What's going on?
Yeah.
Ilhan Omar, y'all, what?
She's like super proud of the president.
She's not quarantined, is she? Because
I know, but
feel like
Congress people got tested positive. 2 Congress people. Yikes. I forget their names, but there's 2. She's not one of them, but there are 2 that have been tested positive.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so she's saying that Trump's suspending mortgage foreclosures, demanding cash payments to Americans, invoking the Defense Production Act, all of those things are incredible and the right response in this critical time. And she's saying this is all a great start. That's what, yikes. When she says, oh, this is just the beginning of government taking over private industry to force them to make things that they need. When this is talked about as just the beginning, that's when I'm like, oh crap, this is getting real and terrifying.
Somebody said that she's been hacked. Maybe she has been.
I don't think she's been hacked.
Something is wrong with her.
It does seem very odd, but there's like 3 different tweets in a row where she's talking about Ayanna Pressley, and they agree that this is all like fantastic.
Maybe marriage. It's marriage. it's like the third marriage is a charm. Maybe that.
She's
I don't
know, but
I don't either.
Scared.
It's a little frightening, you guys. I'm a little
very scared of that.
Trust her like you do China. Yes, Pete.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. It makes me very, very nervous.
Little scary.
What else are we talking about today?
I don't have my template in front of me.
Oh, well, we are going to play the audio from the Cuomo brothers fight on TV.
Oh my God. You guys,
it was actually really sweet.
It was like a moment of levity.
Yeah.
We all needed like a moment of levity. We try to put a little bit of that on our show every day because you guys, there's so much coronavirus talk. We're not used to just talking about one thing on our show every day, and this whole week has been like one thing. And so it gets really tough. Like mentally, it's been really tough. I have to go home and not think about coronavirus after, because it's man, are you guys doing that? Like, are you noticing? Because if you're home, I'm assuming a lot of you guys are home, you're inundated with coronavirus unless you're watching something else, like unless you're watching old reruns of the Match Game.
Right.
So I would imagine that a lot of you are starting to sort of get into this coronavirus funk. It's got to be hard mentally on a lot of you because it's hard.
I take comfort in the fact that there's not a single person now on the planet who's not feeling this. You know what I mean? Like, we really are in this together.
That's a great point.
And so it's nice to know that none of us is alone, because we're all dealing with these same emotions of just the stress of it, the anxiety of not knowing what's going to happen, not knowing how to take care of yourself appropriately, because we keep learning new things about this. We're learning now that more and more young people are being affected, and that's terrifying. And then you see the spring breakers out there going like, well, if I get it, I get it.
YOLO!
You just want to strangle them.
Yeah, well, they're young. I mean, we have to remember what it was like to be young, and you just feel invincible. You feel like you're completely above it, and you don't, I mean, that's the thing. Linda, you say your daughter is enrolled in Corona College. You have to learn at home. Yeah, I mean, a lot of our kids are at home. My biggest thing is my daughter this week, because it's her first week at home. She's 10, and she's been off her routine. So I told my husband last night, I said, I got to get her back on a nice routine next week and just get her on a more because our whole house is like, it's like a nice regimented schedule. Every day is like we are on a schedule, and this whole week we've been off it, and it just puts me out of sorts. I hate it. I hate being off a schedule. So next week it's I would imagine everybody's like that. Everybody's out of sorts. It's just not right. Everybody's at home. You got like kids and dogs, and everybody's playing together. And
my dogs are so happy right now that that my kid is home.
Everybody's home. Yeah, but at the same time, it's like nobody's in a routine, and it's just crazy. And I've heard that like there are some kids who are not even doing e-learning.
Really?
Yeah, there are some kids in some school systems that they're not really even doing e-learning. And some of the e-learning, let's face it, is like an hour and a half a day.
Yeah, my kid spent 2 hours on assignments yesterday, and I was like, we're going to be finding you some other stuff to
right?
do.
This is the thing. It's not like it's 8 hours a day, you guys. It's an hour and a half, 2 hours, and so they're left with a lot of free time. And so as parents, and parents are working, we're working parents. We have jobs to do, and
even if you're working at home, you're still
working. And so you have to figure out a way to occupy your kid. You don't want them on the computer all day. So you got to figure out, what am I supposed to do? So you're juggling all this. It's stressful.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who are stressed out there trying to figure out what to do and how to balance their time and how to educate their kid. It's hard to homeschool when you have a full-time job.
Every day, people are
Good things to do.
okay, hang on. We're almost done. Every day, people keep saying, you're sitting too close to each other. Listen, if you want us to keep doing these videos, I don't know, we're not going to be in them if we sit further apart. So, yes, we realize that we're sitting too close together. I get it. Please stop saying that over and over again.
I'm confused about that, though, because we're kind of like a married couple at this
I know.
point.
We're together
We're together every day, so I don't know what you want us to do.
And we're at home or we're here.
Yeah. I mean, the people that we work with are basically like our second family, so this is, what you see is what you get, you guys.
And there's no getting around
We're
it.
not going to distance ourselves very much. I mean, the people that we work with, there's like 6 of us here, and then I've got three of us at home. That's it. These are the people that I come in contact with.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
I mean,
If I'm going to get it from these people, I'm going to get it from these people. But these are the people that I see every single day. Sorry.
So, and this is what we do.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry.
all right. So Rob says we have to go.
Okay, we got to go. You guys bring it in. Bring it in.
Bring it in social distancing
style. Look at us. We're like touching each other.
This is okay though. Elbow touches. Those
All
are
right.
okay
Well,
now.
I mean, if elbow touches are okay, then why can't we be close to each other? I don't get it. What are the rules?
Well, and that's the thing. There's a lot of mixed messages out there, you guys.
Yeah.
So just try to stay indoors as much as you can, as much as your job will allow, and so on and so forth. And we're gonna keep calling this the Wu flu, or it's some variation of it.
It's the Wu flu. It's from China.
Right.
You guys have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.